Ladies and gentlemen, the India bloc has met for the first time today post their rout in the Hindi heartland. And the big story coming out from there is a possible prime ministerial face for the alliance. Sources say that Mamata Banerjee has proposed Mallikarjun Kharge's name as the PM face of the alliance. And backing that proposal today was Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. But it seems Mr. Kharge wasn't keen and said, let's unite and win first. Now, top leaders from 28 opposition parties, including Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, M.K. Stalin, Nitish Kumar, Uddhav Thackeray, Akhilesh Yadav, all were in attendance. Apart from the PM face, Team India has adopted 2 resolutions. One being a resolution against the suspension of MPs, the other one against EVMs. In fact, Team India will hold a pan-India protest on December 22nd over the suspension of 141 opposition MPs. Leaders of 28 parties also discussed the blueprint for the 2024 general elections. And while there was no decision on the seat-sharing formula and logo, there was quite a bit of discussion, it seems, about who their leader is going to be.
151 लोगों को सस्पेंड करके बाहर जो निकाले, ये पहला इंसिडेंट है कि देश में इतने लोगों को आज तक किसी ने सस्पेंड नहीं किया था. ये सरकार ने प्रोत्साहन देकर सस्पेंड करने के लिए लगाए. तो ये जो उनकी मंशा है कि डेमोक्रेसी को खत्म करना, अगर नहीं गए तो क्या होने वाला, ये बड़ी बुरी बात है. और इसके लिए हम लड़ेंगे, मैदान में जाएंगे. इस समझ को खत्म करने के लिए हम सब एक हुए हैं. और ऑल इंडिया प्रोटेस्ट 22 दिसंबर को ये जितने भी सस्पेंशन हो गए उनके बारे में ये चलेगा.
Let me go straight across to Abhishek Singhvi joining us on the broadcast. He's a 3-time MP, he's a CWC member, he's a senior advocate of the Supreme Court, and he's also the national spokesperson of the Congress party. Mr. Singhvi, thank you very much. Good evening to you. Did we just hear from the man who is possibly the prime ministerial candidate for the India alliance? Is that something you can confirm for us?
Yeah, this is nice spice, and I know it's so nice for you to get this material for your 9 o'clock show. But the answer to your question was provided by the man himself. You see, there are 2 or 3 basic principles of I.N.D.I.A. The India Alliance first principle is that so far as possible, we'll try for 1 person per constituency. Second principle, which is a part of the first but must be spelled out separately, is that the actual division of seats will be by experts, by statistics, by surveys, by figures, not on any other test. Now, the third one has been set from the beginning, which is what Mr. Kharge repeated. These are deliberately divisive tactics, sometimes thrown by our opponents. Of course, today it was said in a warmth and a convivial manner, in a collegiate manner, which should not detain us, because obviously this will be decided, namely the PM's name, PM's position, after the results come in, not before. We are all amongst equals here. We are not suggesting that you are Prime Minister, I am Prime Minister, somebody else is. But we are really going to take it as it comes, because these are issues which are divergetory. They are intended to create some kind of a, halchal. And we want to avoid it. And I think it's all worked out well. It was said in warmth and positivity. I'm not at all suggesting that those who mentioned it did it out of any kind of, animus, etc. But then you got the answer from the Congress itself, from the person in the heart of it itself.
But Mr. Singhvi, the point is, how is the question on who the prime ministerial face of the opposition is going to be a distraction? It is a moot question if you ask me. We know there is Prime Minister Modi who is leading the BJP, but who's leading the India alliance? I need to know who my prime minister is. I need to know who I'm voting for.
There have been so many elections. In fact, 2004, 2009, and possibly 2014 from our side, there was no such declaration. But forget that. Contrary to the BJP's, of course, at the prime ministerial level, it's completely dictatorial. Nobody can imagine, dream of aspiring for Mr. Modi's post as far as the NDA is concerned. He would be politically shot down and assassinated politically. But if you leave that aside, they were doing similar things for the CM's posts. You notice just now in the recently concluded elections, did they address any CM prior to the elections? No. So these are all matters of a certain thinking, a certain strategy. I agree that as far as the government is concerned, they are projecting, they have to project Mr. Modi. As I said, this is an absolute one-man party. But in our case, we are not obliged to do it. This is ultimately a prime ministerial form of government, a Westminster model, where really speaking, of course, it is true that in some elections they are projected, but it is so many elections. The whole model is based on the decision of those who come elected. Now, it's very clear that in the India alliance, to expect a single party to get 272 plus is an unrealistic thing. But collectively, they may get 350. They may get 325. Let that collectivity and the profile and the division of that collectivity decide who will be prime minister. That's all that we are saying. What's so wrong with that? As
Mr.
far as
Singhvi,
state elections are concerned,
okay,
in
Mr.
every
Singhvi,
election which the BJP is going, it's doing the same.
But Mr. Singhvi, there are enough and more people who are on the fence, who are not this side, not the other, not for the BJP, not for the Congress, who are looking at everything that has happened in Madhya Pradesh and thinking opposition karegi kaise? They can't get their
Exactly.
act together in a
Very
single
important.
assembly election, namely Madhya Pradesh. How will they manage in
I bring,
2024?
Shreya, I bring you back to the 2004 and 2009 situations. But more than that, that's the whole point. I believe very clearly and strongly and genuinely that India should fight the national elections as a series of state elections, as an aggregate of state elections. Now, let me clarify so that I'm not misunderstood. Doesn't mean state elections in the sense you and I talk about it at the state level. It means that there are powerful pole positions for different parties and combinations in different states. You go to Bengal, you clearly know who's in pole position. Around that, others will fill up. That pole position will remain numero uno. You go to Uttar Pradesh, we all understand, and we have to submerge our egos for that. Now, in this system, therefore, to suggest a pan-India prime ministerial candidate before the election would be foolish. It is contrary to the very concept. And why should I decide to adapt my concept? Why should I change my uniform, my battlefield, my battle strategy, my battle formation, my soldier formation, according to what the other chap tells me to dictate to me? Why should I do it? The very concept of India is different. It is aggregating a series of wins at regional levels into a majority at the national level. And that's very open and very clear. And that's the way it should be. And that's what scares Mr. Modi.
Okay. Mr. Singhvi, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I know you have to be on another channel, so I'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us here on Mirror Now. Thanks very much indeed. I can go across to Madhavan Narayan, who's joining us on the broadcast as well, senior journalist. Mr. Narayan, good evening. Thank you for your patience and your time. Mr. Kharge is Chief Minister. Mamata proposes, Mr. Kharge himself disposes. What do you make of it? Has a decision been made? Yeah, Abhi, you know, it's called kite flying. Just float things and see how it goes.
It's kite flying. I think it's a teaser, and it's not a bad one at that. You see, there are three ways of looking at it. One, of course, Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi put out what you could call the party line, which is very repetitive. And if you know what Mr. Modi has been doing, which is that he's got a towering personality, he's got a party machinery, and the government machinery, including the CBI and the ED, have been working overtime to pin down opposition leaders where necessary. And there is the IT cell, and there's a big, government amount handouts and freebies. So if you're going to take on a man like this and a party like this, then the India Alliance has to get its act together. And I have a feeling that putting Mr. Karge's name forward, both the proposal and the disposal were probably staged managed in order to tantalizingly give us a hint of what might be. It's not a kite, it's a teaser. And it's a very strategically a good one because Mr. Kharge has several things going for him. He's quite credible and acceptable in the scheme of things as somebody who has carries a certain amount of respect across the political spectrum. He's from the south and he's from Karnataka. And if somebody from Karnataka comes into play, then where the BJP is strong, then it gives a certain amount of, ballast to a name that can pull fence sitters over. Third thing is that he's a Dalit leader. And if you look at, let's say, UP, where after the decline of Mayawati, the Dalit vote has become a floating vote. It used to be a Congress vote. And I think having Kharge out there, especially if there is some kind of a modus vivendi or an understanding reached with Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party, then things might look up for the India alliance, although the UP is probably the toughest case alongside Gujarat, where it's nearly impossible for the alliance to make a mark. But let's not forget that the assembly elections saw Akhilesh Yadav's Samajwadi Party get 37% of the votes in UP. So if you take all these things into consideration and the fact that there is a Dalit angle, Dalits countrywide might be enthused by the idea of having, because right now the Dalit parties are split. There is BSP in UP, Lok Janshakti Party in Bihar, you have Vidudalai Chirtarigal or the Panthers in Tamil Nadu, you have the Republican Party in Maharashtra, and you might find them all sort of liking the idea of having a national leader of a Dalit. So that kind of sends out a good signal for the India alliance, but it's far from a done deal because we also heard about Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav.
It's a strategic teaser.
Yeah, it's a strategic teaser and
not being entirely happy with the suggestion.
No, not a bad one in the context in which
it's a strategic teaser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct. So a strategic teaser you're telling us, but far from a done deal. Anyhow, it was an interesting headline. So we thought we'll put it out. Mr. Narayan, thank you very much for joining us for this very, very quick chat. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm slipping into a quick break here on the show. Coming up next is my colleague Nivedana, who is joining you with all the top stories at the top of 9. Do stay with us.